So Nate, I'm wondering what it was like to go back and reread this stuff. I know you read pieces that you haven't written, you probably haven't looked at in a long time. You wrote,
Um,
read a while ago. Just tell us a little bit about what that experience was like. We've asked you to revisit this moment, and that seems connected in some ways to your current work and to the things that you're still
Definitely.
engaged with.
Um, just revisiting, I definitely see one where I was mentally as a writer, and two also just reflecting on really where I was at that time to be able to write that. The community, the Mob Q Records community, we're not really active in that way anymore. I've kind of just carried the tradition through my own company and the things that I'm doing now. And it was just I see it. It's always interesting watching your own growth, right? Especially as a writer, because you know that over time you learn different techniques, you learn about different things. You just grow as a person, you experience new things, and that is going to reflect in your writing. There are a lot of music artists that say, you don't even want to write your next album back to back in certain ways because you want to be able to experience life before you're able to do that. So that's kind of where we was in this 7-year gap. I've been through so many different experiences that have, grew me as a person. Now to reflect back on these writings and like, wow, this is where, even back then I was writing in this way, but also it paved the way for me to continue to grow what I do now. And it's just beautiful to see. I'll be shocked at, how I grow in the next, sorry about that. Had a phone call. I'll be shocked how I grow in the next 5 to 10 years. From now, because I'm actually working on my next book. It's called "Game Over: A Different Way of Life." The excerpt of that is actually in the back of that book, The Art of Inspiration, and it's essentially a life manual, but written in terms of a game manual. So you know how you would pick up a game manual, it would tell you what the controls were and the backstory and how to play the game and things like that. Well, I'm doing it in that way, but for life, because obviously we're in a digital age, and the language of playing games is pretty much universal. So whether that's a board game, a card game, the rap game, quote unquote, so on and so on. So just integrating those things into something that I think can help people on their journey.